Cause if I run the game in these, man, the seams are splitting. No pun intended, but they smelling defeat in the air. Headed where nobody took it, who needed me?
It's week 1 of the 2024 season, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Vikings and the Giants, just ahead on EA Sports.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, there's nothing quite like it. That feeling of beginning another NFL season. And these two squads are going to do just that in a moment.
And what makes it so exciting is the range of possibilities these teams have before them, because we could be seeing one of these teams earn the Lombardi Trophy in February, while the other, they could earn the #1 draft pick in April or anything in between. And we've got the best seat in the house every step of the way.
The kicker, Will Reichard, has the ball on the tee. And we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, played his college ball at Duke University.
And to say that this is a big spot is the classic understatement. It's a ton of pressure on this rookie quarterback as he gets to play right away. And let's face it, he's trying to take in every moment from his first start, but at the same time, he's got to focus on what's in front of him.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. They'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first. But there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
Back to throw now on first down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be second down. In motion, the tight end. Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings will take over possession here up at the 44. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy. It's not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Darnold. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You'd be really
You don't deserve
upset,
anything
right?
for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. And back deep for the Giants is Dory Jackson. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. Remember last time out, they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
Now back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Trying to connect there with Wan'Dale Robinson, and it'll bring up 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On the delay, Jones. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Jonathan Bullard. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And he'll try and hurry the kick, gets it away, but it's not looking that great. And certainly not the greatest of kicks there. This one will be down inside their own 40-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. Off of play action, Darnold. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Second and 10. Here's Darnold. This is caught by Addison. Touchdown, Vikings. Jordan Addison, 36 yards. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And New York set to take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
Certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game, has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. That's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll go again to Jones. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now it's Darnold. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3 and out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Now a first down carry by Jones. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. Aaron Jones, 59 yards. And the Vikings lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Now the try here for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. And New York set to take the field. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start with a run by Tracy. Nifty move. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Tracy going to get it on first down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave, embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run.
3rd down, here's Tracy. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. They'll try and run for it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field. He wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Right back to Tracy. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. minus 9 yards on the play, and now it's third down.
Those big ends don't really care what the play call is. Big pass, RPO, handoff, whatever. Their job, get behind the line of scrimmage every play and run down whoever has the ball. Mission accomplished there.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Give him 11 yards that time on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Darnold now to throw.
A check down here to Jones.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. To throw is Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Giants touchdown.
Well, I mean, it hadn't been a picture-perfect first half for this defense to this point, but that's a big play to get them right back in the ballgame.
And I think that changes their mind frame. Now they're saying to themselves, hey, we're still in this. And even though our offense hasn't done anything, we've had our troubles on our own right, we still made a play right there that could change the course of this game. Great job delivering.
Gano the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
And this will wind up way short of the landing zone, so that's going to move the ball all the way up to the 40-yard line. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Darnold.
That one complete to Naylor.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Second down and 4.
Back to throw, Darnold. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson.
And Hockenson going to have the Vikings first down as he's across midfield to the 48.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Now this offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Darnold.
Middle of the field to Jefferson.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 36. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. Oh, look at the juke. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
Well, now, after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. From the 31, here's 2nd and 5.
Again, it's Jones. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. A play fake, and it's Darnold. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And New York set to take the field. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used a slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Throwing on 2nd down. Darnold.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
Oh, it still won't go down. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Off the option, it's Jones.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
faking the give. Darnold, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat. Brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Malik Neighbors with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Giants are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this is not going to wind up anywhere near the landing zone, so this will be blown dead, and they'll move it up to the 40. And that flag accepted. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and a yard. Up the middle, Jones. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. That is caught. 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Jalen Naylor, 50 yards. And the Vikings had 6 to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Giants offense and receiver Malik Neighbors headed onto the field. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
They'll go again with Tracy. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quick.
I love that description because diagnosed is that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 9.
On play action, they'll throw. And that'll fall complete. He was hit just as that go. And now it's third down.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and what he's made of.
And this offense on third down today, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll drop to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And now out comes Minnesota.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson, and he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And inside give to Jones. And down inside the 40 to about the 38.
76 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form. He's opener from the 38 now. 2nd and 3.
And the tight end in motion left. Darnold. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brian Burns flying in there and dropping it for the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15.
Now Darnold. Buying time to his left. And he's going to go down again. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for Minnesota. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And his throw is incomplete.
A good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And they'll send the tight end in motion. From the gun, it's Locke. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Sacked by Andrew Van Ginkel. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Locke gonna throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Locke working out of the gun. He'll rifle this one deep right side.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Well, you can just see this one coming, couldn't you? It's an obvious passing situation, 3rd and long. The defense is going to bring in 2 more defensive backs and say, you want to throw? Go ahead. We dare you. And there's just no one open anywhere as they come away with the interception.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
This is caught by Addison. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. With 37 seconds to play in this first half. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Darnold from the gun. Being chased out left. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Here's Darnold.
Open man is Naylor. He's got it.
7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Darnold now to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
To throw is Darnold.
And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
A final shot before half for Locke. He's going to take another shot here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we've reached halftime time here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And it's the Steelers who are out in front. George Pickens, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, we'll head up to Indy to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. It's C.J. Stroud with 3. Count them. 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. James Cook accounting for the lone scoring thus far as he's cashed in with a touchdown run. In that first half, it was the veteran Aaron Jones who had it going. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory. It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after that first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will wind up way short of the landing zone, so that's going to move the ball all the way up to the 40-yard line. And they'll accept that penalty. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Jefferson going to go in motion right. Now it's Darnold. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And it's slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Complete. Jefferson the target. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
A give to Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. From the 50, it's Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Yeah, this will be a Giants first down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They look to throw. It's Locke. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On to give, it's Tracy. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 55 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that, but I think that they were right about this one.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now Locke. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Blocked now to throw. That's complete to Slayton. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Now 2nd and 5. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Throwing now is Locke. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Shotgun snap to Locke. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. Give him 32 on the play.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Jefferson going to go in motion right. The give is to Jones, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape. And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Giants offense and Drew Lock headed back onto the field. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from... The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. The last time out, they had the good drive going. You get in the red zone, they throw the interception. Not their first pick of the game either, so we'll see if they're more careful, more cautious here on this drive.
Yeah, nothing worse than repeat mistakes, right? You end up coughing the ball up, you end up throwing a pick, everything goes awry. And now, points don't go up on the board. I just heard a fan scream out, I thought the idea was to score points. Yeah, they're getting a little restless too.
2nd and 5. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. They'll hand it to Tracy. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And this will be a Giants 1st down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Locke to throw. And Locke throws another one. It's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
After the interception, here's Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that two-point attempt.
And now out come the Giants. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Block off of play action. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The veteran Stephon Gilmore able to break that one up.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
On the return is Ward. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
They'll run it with Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the Giants ready to come out now. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard. And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
That's caught left side by Neighbors.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
2nd and 6. Here's Tracy. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's Locke. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for New York. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Here's Powell on the return. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Off of play action, Darnold. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain almost 40 yards here. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. This is Jones. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. Well, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. They'll go again to Jones. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because
and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Aaron Jones. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Well, they were looking to pick up the 1st down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. To throw it is Locke. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one snap closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Locke. Open man is the rookie, Theo Johnson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On play action, Locke. This one is Slayton over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Locke going to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Vikings will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. And here in the 4th quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
The Vikings offense had Aaron Jones headed back onto the field. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. 2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Here's Jones. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now,
there he goes, right side. Down the right sideline. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, 64 yards. And the Vikings are looking good here in the season openers. They're able to extend their lead. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
Little work still to do, though. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The New York set to take the field. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Locke, got to have this one. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the